Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again with you, and today I'm going to give you a very good news, and that good news is the banking sector has recorded the highest profitability, and the profitability for the financial year 2021 is 1,02,250 crores. 1,02,250 crores in the financial year 2021. What makes this very special is that this is in spite of the severe COVID related issues which haunted us throughout the last year. If you remember the financial year 2019, the banking sector had a net loss of 5,000 crores, which means that from a 5,000 crore rupee loss that is led to a profit of 1,02,250 crores in the year financial 2021 is no mean achievement. In fact, just to give you statistics, the major banks, which is HDFC and State Bank of India, they constituted more than 50% of the industry profits. In fact, HDFC profits stood at approximately 31,000 crores, which forms 30% of the total profits, and SBI is 20,000 crores, which is approximately 20% of the total profits during the last year. The third was ICICI, for which the profits were 16,000 crores. Some of the private sector banks also gained, because largely speaking the public sector banks went slow as far as the last year was concerned, because they wanted to go slow, they wanted to service only quality loans, and most of these banks which wanted to come back to black as much as possible. We are talking about PSBs, which is public sector bank, as a result of which some private banks also gained the process. But in spite of that, the public sector banks reported profits during the last year of approximately 57,830 crores, which is the highest in the last 5 years. So out of the total 12 public sector banks, only 2 public sector banks had recorded losses, and that was Punjab and Sindh Bank and Central Bank of India. We don't want to get into that in terms of losses, etc., but these 2 banks have not done well, but those guys actually are doing extremely well to bring it to black during the next year, and we can hope that, because much pressure is on them and guys are working. And secondly, the government is not keeping quiet, guys. The government is doing a great job in terms of going behind these jobs, making them reduce their NPAs, and most of the things are being done by the financial ministry. We will reserve all that for the next videos. On this video, I'm just giving you some data. As far as the Yes Bank is concerned, we all know that it's a failed bank, and it still has, they've recorded a loss of approximately 3,500 crores. They continue to make fresh provisions week after week, month after week. But yes, the sector is going bright considering this huge profit, and the single biggest reason for the public sector banks to show profits is because the legacy of the bad loan problem is over. They have already come out of that mess, because most of these public sector banks had gone into a mess in the last 20-30 years. I don't want to rake in what has happened in the past. All said and done, past is past, and these banks have come back to profits. And the era of mobile banking, people calling up from the party headquarters, ordering the bank managers to go give loans to specific people, all that is completely stopped, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The figures are there right in front of you, right? Profitability of these banks. So over the last 5 or 6 years, a lot of path-breaking reforms are being done in terms of highest GST collections, the IBC, the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, the MSME push, Atmanirbhar, PLI schemes, host of other things are being done, as a result of which each of these sectors are improving, and so the Reserve Bank of India has been forcing banks to classify 12 large defaulting accounts. Remember, we are talking about the last year and why this profitability happened. It didn't happen by accident, because everything is part of a magnum plan, much larger design, pre-planned blueprint. The damage caused in the last 20 30 years cannot be repaired in 1 or 2 years. They take time. So we will be talking about some of those issues. The bad loan problem, which was the single biggest problem for all the public sector banks, but let's be confident, it is over. That legacy is long buried. So what the RBI did during the last year was it forced the banks to classify 12 large defaulting accounts, followed by another 40 accounts, just to register the non-performing assets, NPAs. They initiated bankrupt proceedings on these companies, as a result of which more than 4 lakh crores have turned into non-performing assets. 4 lakh crores. This is the rot of the last 20, 30 years. All of us are aware of it, and more additional provisions were being made, but those extra provisions were made through better quality recoveries during the last year. Guys are going behind those guys, those defaulters. So the banks will stop bleeding, and let's stand optimistic. The banking sector has recorded the highest profitability of more than 1 lakh crores in the year 2021. Civil services aspirants, please remember these important figures. We talked about the total profitability of 1 lakh crores. The second important data is the loss of 5,000 crores in the preceding year, which is the financial year 1919, which means there is a transformation from a loss of 5,000 crores in the year 2019 to approximately 1 lakh crores in the financial year ending 2021. 50% of the total profits have come from your HDFC and State Bank of India. HDFC recorded profit of 30,000 crores, which constitutes 30%. State Bank of India profits of 20,000 crores, which is 20% profit. Very important. Public sector banks and other PSBs put together is about 56,000 crores, and out of the 12 public sector banks, only 2 public sector banks went into huge losses, which is your Punjab and Sindh Bank and what was other, the Central Bank of India. SBAC continues to bleed, losses. We've already said that. The single biggest reason for the public sector banks is the bad loan problem, where the NPAs had gone up. So RBIs had forced the banks to classify 12 large defaulting accounts. After that, 40 more loans defaulting accounts were done. So 52 major loans they were classified as non-performing assets of approximately 4 lakh loans. More provisions were being made, but they were compensated by high quality recoveries. And with all these steps taken by the Reserve Bank of India in classing them as NPAs, somewhere in the range of 4 lakh crores, the banks have started showing profitability, and all hope that this trend will continue, and the reduction of NPAs will keep continuing, and the phone by bank political parties calling up guys for loans and all that, they will all be stopped in the coming months. And another important aspect, the financial sector constitute 40% in the stock market, right? So everything, when it starts improving, we can expect a big jump in the Nifty. We can expect it a big jump in both your Nifty and Sensex, because 40%, as we said, is from the banking sector, and we can hope to see that the stock market also gets pushed up because of all these reforms, and we all stand to get benefited. Anybody who is investing in the stock market, anybody who is in the business, anybody who is doing a valuable contribution to this economic growth of economy of Bharat Mata, they will all start to benefit, guys. In fact, the hard working guys will get benefited. That's what it is. I hope all of you enjoyed this video, and we will be coming up with more and more comments. If you have any opinion on the contrary, I welcome you to put them down in the comment section below, so that we will be able to get other perspectives, and I'm very eager to reply to each one of those comments one by one at a personal level, guys. Okay, this is Dr. Sadasivam signing off till we meet again, and bye bye. Jai Hind.